Welcome, Outposters. How are you doing today? This is I'm back. I'm tan. I'm rested. I've been to Florida. I do not have COVID, but I do have liquor as usual. With me, Dom. Say hi. Baking out there in Arizona.
Yes.
That's right. And Ben, how are you, B?
Doing all right.
That's awesome. So, welcome to Outpost Frequencies. Thank you, all you new subs out there, all you new subscribers that came from Nerdrotic, who was nice enough to give us a little shout out. Figures he would do it while I'm on vacation, and you guys are wondering, why aren't I putting up any videos? Well, I wasn't around. So, and none of these guys will take the time to learn how to do a little YouTube streaming for me. So I got nobody I can count on while I'm gone.
You called me several names and said you wouldn't teach somebody like me a thing like that.
And
ironically enough, when I got up in the morning, there was a rope hanging from my doorway.
Another noose, huh?
Another one.
It's just a pull cord, sir. It's not a real noose. It's probably connected to all kinds. They found another one, by the way, today in some college. Oh God, where was it? I gotta look it up now. But they did find.
Colleges are terrible. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. I'm beginning to call these hallucinations.
Let's start hashtagging that, people. Be sure to click over here to find the latest hashtag. Check out our Patreon.
A noose was found in a campus site at a campus at a construction site in an off-campus building, according to ABC News. So I'm
right.
Already you could tell that they were going to be completely and 100% surprised that this turned out to be another hoax. Like they were surprised the other 3,452 times before. So
it's not even worth betting on at this point.
It isn't. It's really ridiculous.
It's really what?
Look, you know I'm drinking. You know I'm on hydrocodone. I don't really
let's
care
talk about the
mess-ups.
hydrocodone.
I'm on all kinds of drugs today.
Like Bill Murray when he was driving that cab in Stripes. He drank too much cough syrup that morning.
That's right. And we're not talking
or
about
when,
in character.
Jesse
we're
had
talking
all those
about
caffeine pills
really
and Saved by the Bell.
So,
let's talk about movies and how they give you AIDS.
Oh, God. Movies do give me AIDS. Yeah, Dom, you and I were talking earlier before you got on, Ben, and we said we really love movies right now. It's a golden age of movies.
There's a mini golden
all
age.
The theaters are freaking
cinema.
Closed. There's not one movie that's coming out. And the only new ones I have to deal with are occasionally on streaming, and at least I could just shut them off and don't feel like I've paid any extra for them.
Yeah, there's no obligation in that. That's for certain.
You know who I feel the worst for in this whole thing?
Harvey Weinstein.
Barbara Broccoli. She's got a 007 movie. Gathering Dust.
I mean, is that going to see the light of day at some point, or are they're like, we're not even going to release it on streaming?
They're adamant it's going to be a theatrical release.
Yeah. That's what they're saying about Tenet.
I wonder what her murderer father would think. you
probably talking.
Right?
No. Tell the story for our listeners who don't know.
So Cubby Broccoli, 007's Cubby Broccoli, he murdered the Three Stooges manager.
No
back
shit.
In the 30s. Yeah. Guy's name was Ted Healy. Look it up. Cubby Broccoli murderer. Look it up. I swear.
Cubby Broccoli.
Did he toss him over a boat like Robert Wagner did? Allegedly. Let's get that out of the way.
Some gangster. It was like a mobster, and they killed this guy in a parking lot. Yeah. It was like crime, like Godfather, Goodfellas kind of stuff, like Joe Pesci in the bar scene. Where they killed that guy.
Brilliant.
That's crazy.
That is brilliant.
Cubby,
For
the
what?
murderer of Broccoli.
Just cuz?
I don't know why, but it happened.
So you're gonna tell me that a guy named Cubby Broccoli had mental issues? That's crazy. I don't
No
believe
way.
it.
No way. It's ridiculous. I can't even believe you would say that. So let's talk about when Matthew Broderick killed somebody in a car.
That I do know about. Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran over somebody.
In Ireland.
Was it?
Well, he wasn't used
Was
to
it
driving
Mark
on the
Hamill's
side of the
career?
road.
That's just what happens. Anyway, come on, let's go, Yoda. This is your show. We're just itching to talk about things.
Hey, I'm letting you guys just tell me crazy stories about murdering psychopaths.
What about Kirk Douglas? You guys know that story? It's Natalie Wood related. So he allegedly sexually assaulted violently Natalie Wood back in like the 50s. Look it up.
Kurt
That's
Russell.
another one.
He would have been a
Kurt
kid.
Douglas.
Oh, Kurt Douglas. I thought you said Russell.
Kurt Russell
He
was
would have been.
Tarzan.
He would have been
boy.
like 7. Now I wouldn't put it past him still, but I'm just saying.
Stuntman Mike.
Damn.
Look,
And then everybody knows
That's
the
way
John
back in the
Peters
Wayback
shampoo
Machine.
story.
at this point, who hasn't?
That's going to be a little bit
murdered?
better than Marlon Brando and the butter.
Who hasn't? Okay, so our stream status says poor. So I apologize for that, but we are recording. I don't know why it's poor. I seem to have.
That sounds classist.
It's probably the material we're working with.
It could be. It's could be the host of this show. It says that I'm pushing really good, but YouTube is not liking us at all. So I don't know why we're
It's a breach baby.
it is.
We're
It's happening.
controversial.
Yeah, it says it's healthy, and then it says YouTube is not receiving enough video. I'm like, why are you not receiving enough video, man? This is high class shit here. What's the problem?
This is ridiculous. We've spent literally tens of cents on this, and I will expect some bang for my buck.
That's right.
Cubby Broccoli's ghost is messing with it, the ghost in the machine.
Yeah, man.
Kirk
You start
Douglas's
talking
ghost.
about Cubby, and things get all fucked up. I don't think that's a coincidence. Yeah.
Probably not.
According to OBS, it says I'm sending plenty. So I'm going to say that YouTube is just having issues today, which wonderful. But oh well. We're recording. We'll put this on the website after the fact. A lot of people tend to watch that way, and of course, we'll have the podcast up later. Don't forget to come to lastmovieoutpost.com. We need you to come. We need the clicks. We need the money. We're not proud.
I have no shame.
None at all. So let's talk about. Now it says this stream is excellent and healthy. So wonderful. Maybe we're.
Let's talk about that. How does that make you feel, Yoda? How does an excellent stream make you feel? Do you have an excellent stream in the morning, Yoda?
You know,
Tell me
as
about
long
your
as-
stream.
As long as it's not burning. I didn't bring back any crabs from Florida. That's good. So I feel like I'm ahead of the game.
Ah, perfect. You want Alp and dandruff?
Can we talk about Batman for Christ's sake?
Go ahead.
So, okay. So what do we have? We have possibly Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. If the deal is made, Keaton wouldn't just return for Flash. So I guess they want to do like a multiverse movie with Flash. But also
God.
several other DC-oriented film projects. They envision the veteran actor as akin to the role being played by Sam Jackson's Nick Fury in the MCU, something of a mentor, a guide, or even a string puller. Batgirl is one of the projects that could, in development, that could fall under that window. They want, what I'm also hearing is that they want to take Keaton and make him Batman. They want to bring back Tim Burton. And at that point I went, no, this is nostalgia.
Oh, this is stupid already. Don't do that. He hasn't made a good film
You mean
since the first
you mean the
two-thirds
director
of
of
Sleepy
Dumbo?
Hollow.
the director of Dumbo.
The
Alice
director
in
of Dumbo and
Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. And let's not forget the crown jewel, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Or that god awful "What the hell's going on?" Planet of the Apes movie.
Well, I
You had
went.
Charlton Heston dressed up in a monkey suit, and you fucked it up. How do you do that?
Charlton Heston was never dressed up in a monkey.
Wasn't he the guy in the monkey suit? Who was that?
He
Whatever.
had a cameo as one of the apes.
Isn't he the one laying
Yeah.
in the bed or whatever the hell it is?
Was he in? Oh, he's in that movie.
in the
Gotta be.
2001 Planet of the Apes?
I don't know.
Ah, look
I
at
can tell
that.
you
Tom
that-
was right about something.
Helena Bonham
Sons
Carter
of
didn't need
bitches.
much makeup in that movie.
So
That's a low blow, sir.
I looked through this, I looked through his. I feel like there's two halves. Dom disagrees with me only slightly, but the way I figure it, he had Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Ed Wood. That was between
Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks.
So
See?
I like Mars Attacks. I don't feel like I feel like it has issues. It's
Oh,
not.
it's
tell you
got
what.
plenty.
It's a hell of a lot better than Batman Returns, where Batman kills the guy, looks at the camera, and smirks.
Yeah,
you know.
Here's the drawback for me with a movie like Mars Attacks is and it's not necessarily its fault, but it set that horrible precedent where you would take something, you're basically remaking it or bringing like a comic book or whatever from the 50s or the 60s, which were typically gritty. If you ever look at those Mars Attacks cards, they're softcore porn in some of them and incredibly violent for the time.
Yeah.
And then turning it into a comedy, which, by the way, sometimes isn't all that funny, except for some of the performance. Just sell it. But that's Mars Attacks set that stage.
Have you
And that
watched it
leads to
recently?
shit like Wild Wild West. Not in a couple of years.
I watched it like maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, and I was kind of surprised at how poorly it held up.
I can tell you
It
there's
would surprise me if it looks as cheap as the Sharks in a Deep Blue Sea or something like that.
I'll say one thing about it. Tom Jones looking over and seeing those aliens and screaming "Jesus Christ" in the mid song is one of the funniest scenes
That
of
is
the
great.
1990s.
Yeah, that's funny. That is.
That is good.
I could see it in
I
my
don't
head
want.
right now.
I'm not
Oh,
saying
that's
it's
funny.
complete crap. It's not complete crap, but it is the start of a definite. Like you watch it and you go, "Boy, this just isn't as good as what he'd been putting out up until Ed Wood." It's good. It has its moments, and then the next one is Sleepy Hollow, which I don't think is very good at all. Dom likes it more than I did, but both of us
It's
agreed that after
great.
that, the next
Till
one
the
was
last bit,
yeah.
till the end.
Next one's
Fish.
Planet of the Apes. Yeah, Planet of the Apes, Big Fish. Everything after that is just garbage.
Yeah, he becomes a push button director,
Yeah.
cashing in on what he had done back in the '80s, and it's like, yeah, you clearly lost your touch. You're like, I guess most people would probably say like Steven Spielberg lost his touch at some point, definitely in the '90s, even though it kind of cruised a little bit right through Catch Me If You Can, and I think Minority Report and Catch Me If You Can are definitely up there in terms of the
I just watched
good
that
movies
this
he's
weekend.
made. But
I was
it's just at
surprised
that
how good
point,
it was.
what have you done? Lincoln, it was good. Okay.
I'll say this about Tim Burton. I think he's a terrible director overall. What he is like people like his art direction. Like he's a great art director. Like people like the way his movies look. They like the sets. They like the aesthetics of the film. But I mean, he's not a good director at all. I don't think.
I think you can. That is definitely an interesting point of view, and it makes a hell of a lot of sense. But Ed Wood, I would say, well, shit, you can even do it then with Ed Wood too. It's definitely it's a Tim Burton looking film, but it's more. I don't know, it's a more complete film than a lot of things he's ever done. It's an actual movie.
Ed Wood is really, really good. I think
It's
Ed Wood
brilliant.
is probably his
I think it's
best
that
film.
Good because of
Right.
the performances. I mean, that's the performances. in
It's
that
a
movie.
fairly,
Like,
I guess it's a
script.
fairly by the numbers story.
I mean, the
such
Bela
as- but
Lugosi
it's
stuff, all
really
that stuff's
good.
funny.
In,
I mean,
in
it's
its
making
way,
fun
it's
of
the least.
people.
It's the least Tim Burton-y of his films. Maybe that's what it is. But it's Like
I
love
I
John.
would think of it as a very Tim Burton film.
Well, it is, but it is like you were saying, Ben, that for his art direction. When I think Tim Burton, I think the weird shit like from Batman to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to Beetlejuice, just this weird sets and all that. You don't really have that in Ed Wood. In fact, he films it in black and white, right? So but you just have these moments in there. I think the best moment, and you have in his own way, a remarkably subdued Johnny Depp, or at least a guy who is trying to, I feel like, is actually merging into the character more than. Oh, we lost you for a second there, Ben. Oh, you're back. Okay,
Sorry.
that's all right.
It's the
But
jerking off.
I
Telling
love
you, Busey was right. You can't do this.
I love the scene where he's like on the phone. He's like, he says, "What do you think of this film?" And the guy just calls him as like the worst piece of crap he ever saw. It's garbage.
Oh, and he's in the phone booth on the studio.
He's on the phone booth. He goes, "Well, next time I'll do better." he's just can't be. You can't knock the guy down, and it's just. I think it's a wonderful film, and I wish. I don't know. Tim Burton just seems to be. I think you hit it on the head, Ben. I think he's more about doing the weird, quirky art direction, trying to make a Tim Burton film than just make a film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
And
who's
when it
another
fails,
guy?
it fails spectacularly.
You know who's another guy that I think is in that same vein as Shyamalan or whatever his name is. M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalama
Oh
ding
my
dong.
Is he still making movies?
I hope not.
Well, he made Glass.
You had those 2 or 3. Stop it.
Like Signs is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I was thinking about
Oh,
that.
disagree with
that
you there.
water,
That's a great
like
film.
aliens travel to a planet that's 70% water, which was what kills them. And like
You
they
can
didn't realize that.
I can look past that. I can absolutely look past that just because it really isn't. It's an alien invasion movie that really isn't about the alien invasion, which I liked, and I can appreciate that. And I thought Mel Gibson was really good, and even Joaquin Phoenix was. And a lot of the performances are good. The kids were good, and I usually hate kids in films. They're just cheap tricks as far as I'm concerned. It's like having a dog. It's like that dog in Independence Day when it's jumping over the cars, and it's like, give me a break. Usually when you do that, it's bad news. But it completely works for me regardless of that, because I don't think the movie ended up not really being about the invasion itself. It was just the umbrella for that family essentially coming together, and Mel Gibson going through his little journey. It was a great movie.
Swing for the fence.
Genuinely scary scene too. Yeah, I like that. I can go for that.
I fall in between you two.
It's
I
sincere.
think he
It's
did
fine.
a good job with creating an atmosphere and trying to tell a story. Like Independence Day tells a story from the people that are in the White House and are right there in the middle of the thing.
There's a story
They don't-
in Independence Day.
Well, so you get what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
they tried to tell the alien invasion story by some nameless dude that's on a farm, and really is not the guy who saves the world or anything. He's just one of the people that had to deal with it, and I appreciate that idea. But I'm also with Ben on the whole water thing and everything. I get what he's trying to accomplish, but then you start going, it's easy to make fun of those things.
Sure,
now-
it is. But I mean, look at the waters. It's like, what is it? Holy water. It's a fairly religious film, I would say.
Well,
There's definitely
yeah.
a strong undercurrent for it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like it's one of those. You're gonna have to get it in there one way or the other if this is what you're doing.
so
It's
here-
better than that god awful The Woods or whatever the hell he made.
I never watched another one of his movies after that thing.
So he makes signs.
I like it.
He makes signs, and to me, that's like he's on the edge of a knife. He could go back to doing things like Unbreakable and Sixth Sense and rein it in a little bit, or he could go off the rails completely. And the next movie he makes is Lady in the Water, which in my mind, he went off the rails completely. For God's sakes, he
Remember-
wrote himself as the writer who saves the world for the
Yeah.
mermaid fairy. I was like, oh god, I'd never seen a movie actually up its own ass, but that one was.
That's when he finally went past the colon and he reached the point of no return.
Oh,
The ads had that kid whispering, "Lady in the water."
What is that
so
god awful movie
terrible.
that takes place in with John Hurt? And it's the 1920s.
Elephant Man?
Nobody remembers it. Thank God. Really, was it John Hurt or William Hurt? Excuse me.
William Hurt. Oh, you're talking about the Village?
It's one of the worst things. The Village. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
Never
when I
saw
went.
it.
You know what? I went 10 minutes into Lady in the Water. I was like, I can't. It had Paul Giamatti in that too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, completely.
But then you get to the Village, and it's like, oh, you're a hack fraud. That was bullshit. I couldn't even stand the fucking dialogue in that movie.
No.
It was so obvious to me 10 minutes in. Once they started talking to one another, I went, oh shit, this is just an Amish little colony thing. No, it's like, and I figured it out. And then you see him, he's the park ranger sitting in his truck. I was so mad. The only time I've ever been that mad was in the Poseidon Adventure remake when Kurt Russell died. Spoiler alert, I don't care. When the ship capsizes and he's the mayor of New York, or whatever the hell he is, and he drowns in the bridge or something like that, I stood up in the theater and I said, shame on you, and then sat back down. You killed Snake Plissken and Wyatt Earp. Never forgive you.
Hey,
Hey, I enjoyed the happening
for
more.
Last Jedi.
What?
I enjoyed the happening more because at least it
Oh,
was
no.
like it was so stupid.
I haven't even bothered to see it.
Oh, it's so stupid. I mean, it's one of those. It's like The Room or Troll 2, levels of entertaining misfire to me. It's so
Love
bad.
Reading the Hood.
I mean, it's not a good movie. It's a terrible movie. It's terrible all the way around. But
Okay, did it plateau into that level of terrible where you can actually watch it again? Because there's terrible. Like, for me, I still
With-
think the worst
with
thing
a
I've
group
ever
of
seen
people
is
and a lot of
Jupiter
liquor.
Ascending. But I will never watch it again.
Yeah, no, I think with a group of people and a lot of liquor, it could be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to give it a shot then.
Yeah.
Let me say something about the Wachowski sisters since we're on that topic.
Oh, they're sister. Are they still sisters? I thought that would have. That didn't get them anywhere.
So, Speed Racer has maybe the worst, most unintentionally hilarious line of dialogue and delivery by Christina Ricci I've ever seen in a movie. These ninjas break in the house and they're fighting everybody, and then they leave.
As
She
they
walks
do.
in the room, looks directly at the camera, tilts her head and goes, "Wow, those were ninjas." and then that's the end of the scene. It didn't make any sense. It's just the weirdest thing ever. I highly recommend watching that scene 'cause it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see. It's like, wow, those were ninjas.
I'm afraid
That
to
is
say
like
that I
that's got to
actually
be up
own
there
that
with
movie.
that. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. I actually own that movie when I bought it on Blu-ray for my son, who was young enough at the time, and it was full of race cars and colors and everything like that. And he watched it like maybe 2 more times. They never wanted to watch it again. I'm like, why'd I pay money on this?
And he
I
hasn't
agree.
Spoken to you since.
Yeah, he doesn't talk to me much these days. Just keeps, unless he wants to talk about a trust fund. I'm like, no, go back to your room. But
Look at us talking about our wealth.
yeah. The Wachowskis. Did you guys see Cloud Atlas?
I
Isn't
want
it the
to.
same thing as Jupiter Ascending. What the hell? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know Cloud Atlas?
Cloud Atlas is like more like a Terrence Malick film, right? It's just long shots of people talking
well,
to themselves.
It's got different. It's got a group of actors that play different characters in different timelines, and not all of them play in every timeline. So you'll have Tom Hanks in like 2 or 3 of them, and then and I forget who all is in it, but it's
Halle Berry's in it or somebody, right?
Yeah, it's an entertaining misfire, but it's like I kind of appreciate that they actually tried to do something that I guess it's based on a book, and I have never read it, so that's probably why its source material is probably better than what the Wachowskis did to it, but it wasn't terrible. But then, like you said, Jupiter Ascending came out, and that was terrible. So, So
which is what's going to happen with Batman, because
I'm glad we started this out as Batman.
You have three different Batmans now. This is the stupidest goddamn thing I've ever heard. There's two Flashes now, right? There's the movie Flash and a TV show, apparently Flash.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have Michael Keaton in one of those. Ben Affleck is coming back to fix Zack Snyder's movie or something.
What?
And then you've got the guy who was a vampire playing Batman in a movie that nobody asked for. It's three Batmans.
What I really love is that Pattinson refuses to work out for the part because we needed a soy Batman.
Yeah, we had twink Bruce Wayne. That would make perfect. Bruce Wayne wouldn't even be Batman now. He'd be spending his life taking pictures of him on a yacht in Monaco someplace. He wouldn't be fighting crime. He wouldn't give a shit. Probably be glad his parents were dead. Now they can't tell him what to do. He'll walk around in $2,000 Sex Pistols t-shirts. Piece of shit. I hate him already.
Look,
the movies just suck. You heard it here
Bruce
first.
Wayne is supposed to be better than what the three of us would do. Because I would do the same thing. I'd say, screw it, I'm living large, and the hell with it. Parents are dead. Yeah, life sucks. Parents die. Look at my giant yacht.
But I've got a giant boat. Look at this. I've got a boat bigger than the Principality of Monaco.
Why, don't you want to dress up as a bat and get the shit kicked out of you every night so you can fight crime? Yeah, no, it sounds tempting, but I'm going to go with the bevy of supermodels here on my yacht.
Yeah, I'm going to waste $400,000 on a student film so I can bang a bunch of hot chicks. And good luck with that crime. I hope you figure it out. Give me a break.
I don't know what... I'm looking at what Warner Brothers is doing with Batman these days, and I feel like if you remember
abusing it.
You remember in the late 80s through probably most of the 90s where Wolverine was in every fucking Marvel comic book there was.
Yeah.
He was guest starring.
Didn't have the crossover where Wolverine fought Spider-Man? You remember
those?
What If or something like that?
He was against the Hulk. He was guest starring in everybody's goddamn book.
They
were milking
in his book.
Oh yeah, and they were. I mean, I'm like, nobody has this much time in a day. If it just doesn't work.
But it's comic books. They're all bullshit. Oh, look at that! The attorneys are calling you. Warner Brothers is on the line.
What? Yeah, they're telling me to shut it down.
Checks in the mail. You better start saying nice things, pal. They're friends with the Clintons. You know what they do.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name? What's her name? How long before she commits suicide?
Oh, her unfortunate suicide probably by the weekend.
Yeah. What a
Monday
shame.
morning. You know what they'll do? Friday evening. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't remember, but didn't Jeffrey Epstein kill himself on a Friday evening or something like that?
They put the woman in the same prison.
I mean, you can't even make that up. That's hilarious. No way it's gonna happen a second time. Oh shit.
I'm shocked that there's gambling in this establishment.
I thought we fixed those cameras.
Guys, I'm gonna drop off. I'll call you right back from my computer because my phone's gonna die.
Your phone's gonna die.
What the
This is like a real high class production. I know. So.
You're clearly prepared for this.
Yeah. So here, let me drop off. I'll call right back.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now that he's gone, let's talk about him.
Yeah. This fucking guy. I can smell it from here. I think he shit himself.
Well, when he comes back,
we lied.
Who cares? Who gives a
We have
shit?
like 3 different Batmans, which is annoying as hell. This is, remember, what was it,
'Cause-
like the Joker?
Because
They were gonna have
Affleck's
like
coming back.
4 different Joker films going at one time. Some crap like that. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. I hope Michael Keaton doesn't do it, because for fuck's sake, we don't need it. But
Well, they wanted to
Please
bring him
don't.
back as like Batman Beyond, so he's mentoring somebody else. But you know who they want to bring as the Joker?
not Heath Ledger.
Johnny Depp. I mean, come on, you could almost see that coming, but I mean,
Why?
it's like
No.
because Burton doesn't like anybody else. I don't know.
No,
that
you
needs
can't
to-
even. No, I don't.
Wait a minute, he's
I'm
he's
sure
incoming
Joaquin-
call. Let's see. Did I hang up on one? I think I hung up on one. Oh, there you guys are seeing how the sausage is made. That's not good. I think I hung up on him. Ben McVeigh old. Oh, he's using his old one.
I'm using whatever I could do.
You're using your old account. You had to create a new account, but now you're using your old account.
It worked. Okay.
That's funny. Okay. Let me add poor I'll try anyway. Okay, there we go.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, I see Yoda smoking a cigar. I
Do
don't
you?
see you.
Oh, okay,
personally.
hold on. How about that?
There you go.
There we go.
Did we lose
I'm working on it.
Drake Patrick?
I'm working on getting Dom back. Hold on here. For
Okay.
those of you watching live and wondering what the hell we're doing, we have no idea. We're trying to figure it out, and we really don't know. So I'm trying to call him back. Let me see. Because he was talking away. He's probably still talking away. Has no idea he's no longer on the call. Okay. Well, let's see. Wait. Oh, he's unavailable. He's unavailable because he's still talking on the old call.
All right, so he'll call back in.
If he can. I don't know what. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just. Okay, one group member not on call. Okay. I'm adding him back in. We're going to give it one more shot here. Calling him. And so we were talking about Batman, and now I can only apparently talk. Wait.
He's
There
back.
he is. So, Dom, this is not your fault.
Did anybody record any of that?
Oh, we've recorded all of that. Well, whatever you were saying, we have no idea. When
Oh, damn it.
I hung up
That
on
was
you.
the best I've ever been. Shoot.
Well,
You hung up on me?
and
I was talking to myself the whole time?
Yep, and that's how you make $10,000 in 5 minutes. He's not repeating it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Dom lives in a world of shit.
So Ben has 2 accounts. One of them was a new account he had to create because he forgot the password on his old account.
I got locked out.
He got locked out. Now he went back to his computer, and apparently his old account works just fine. So now we're back on his old account, which blew up our entire call when I answered the phone.
Ben managed
The
to
magic
travel
of
back
television.
to 1999. How is that? How were things back in 1999 where you had to get locked out of your account? Oh, it's
It was
brilliant.
awesome.
This
It was-
awkward joke was brought to you by the crisp, cool, refreshing
Two
nature of
X's.
those segments.
2 X's.
You remember the
So
days
your
when the
joke
worst thing you
landed
had to
flat.
worry about was getting locked out of your account? You know, before the days of riots and the pandemic, and 2 of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have worked their way across.
Hey, at least
Great.
we don't have bread lines.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, in fact, the problem we have now is we're all too freaking fat.
Oh, here we go with that. Let's talk about Batman being fat, because that's what Michael Keaton's going to be with the paycheck they're going to give him.
I thought that
He's
was a
gonna
Ben Affleck
do it.
segue.
Bennett, it's liquor money for
Batfleck.
Ben Affleck, by the way, wasn't that bad at Batman, he wasn't that bad at Bruce Wayne either. I mean, considering the fact that he had fuck all to work with, because it's a Zack Snyder film, and sorry, he can't actually craft a very good movie. He can make a somewhat visually interesting one that he ruins with his gothic metal style. It's fucking terrible. Anyway,
Are you guys
what he
interested
pulled
in
out of
seeing
his ass,
Justice
what he was
League?
giving was great. No,
Not at all.
not at all.
I got to
No,
because it's
why
my job.
does
But
it matter? What for? I mean, maybe I could see maybe a curiosity, like, oh, yeah, I got nothing better to do, I guess. It's like a Saturday afternoon thing at this point, but what's it going to do? It's not going to reinvigorate the series because DC and Warner Brothers or whoever's screwed that up so magnificently that they're going to have 3 eating Batmans and alternate timelines that crisscross. It's like Lost. It's Lost with Batman. He's so abused. Put him away.
You know what I heard is good? Is Doom Patrol. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Doom Patrol.
I would love to talk about Doom Patrol because I have been watching that.
It's a duel of topics. Let's get back to Batman. Fuck your Doom Patrol.
This is DC, man.
It's still DC. No, Doom Patrol is great, and if you haven't watched it, it's got unfortunately
but I can still comment on.
Well, it's got unfortunately a few woke moments in it, and one it really irritates me because it's like you got this really great show, but then you have to stick this stupid moment in there, and what it was. So it's very imaginative. They have a sentient street that actually can talk to them, and
So
people stay on it. And,
Grant Morrison stuff.
yeah, really weird
What
shit.
is this?
Doom
For those
Patrol.
of us, for the audience at home who might not know, I'm not saying I don't because I know everything. But for those of the good people at home who are probably watching this on their tablets while they're in between Pornhub or whatever it is, eBay, maybe they don't know what it is. Why don't you go ahead, Yoda, and explain to everybody what this show is?
Doom
Go
Patrol
ahead.
is
I dare you.
Doom Patrol is DC's version of X-Men, although I think Doom
Oh,
Patrol
God.
came out first. You got a guy in a wheelchair who brings together misfits that have powers.
They came out like 2 months apart.
They were very close. And but where X-Men goes into a pile of shit about race relations, that was its whole shtick. Doom Patrol is much more into the Doctor Strange kind of, weird and wild and just odd shit happening, and really leans into the oddness of their characters. One guy is a race car driver who had his brain put into a robot, as you do.
I'm sold.
And that's voiced by Brendan Fraser, who's
He's still working. Oh,
yeah,
God bless him.
he's great in this. He really is. And I'll tell you, for all those wholesome movies that he made, those family movies like Journey to the Center of the
Mummy? Earth
and everything, he's making up for it with the F word in this show because he uses it a lot.
He was great in Blast from the Past.
I
That's
like
a good movie.
I like
It's
Brendan
one of those
Fraser a lot.
old-fashioned movies. He looks like the size of a house. Nothing against him.
Yeah. You've got him. He does a great job. You've got this lady who I think Elastigirl, and she's an old actress. And when I say old, like she was big during the 50s and the 40s, and she hasn't aged since she had her accident. So she's almost feels like a person out of time. A little bit, where in her mannerisms and the way she speaks, and every once in a while she just loses it and turns into a gelatinous blob. And
I can see liking this.
yep. And
Negative
then you got
Man.
Yeah, Negative Man. He's a guy that's just wrapped up completely in bandages. He was a pilot in the 1950s, and he had an accident, and he got infused with this negative spirit, and he's very radioactive. But the professor Niles Calder was able to create some bandages that he puts him in to keep the radiation intact, but he doesn't have to walk around in one of those horrible suits, and so he just looks like the Invisible Man all the time.
Claude Rains.
Yeah, like Claude Rains' Invisible Man, but every once in a while his negative spirit comes out, and he's always taking him to weird shit. And then you have Crazy Jane, who has like 60 some odd personalities in her, and each one of them has a different superpower, but they're all very bizarre. And they have this place called the Underground, which is basically in her mind, and that's where all the personalities will kind of congregate. And sometimes, and they have a lot of different actresses playing these, and actors for that matter, playing some of these personalities. She's kind of the weak link in the as far as the actor goes. She was in Orange Is the New Black, and she's fine, but she's not as good as Matt Bomer or Brendan Fraser or the April. God, I can't remember her name, but whoever plays Elastigirl. And then you've got Ben Shapiro's sister playing the little ape girl that looks like that dresses like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, whose imaginary friends come to life. And one of her imaginary friends is a giant spider with a Brooklyn accent. And another one is a maid that has kind of a weird headlight face. I mean, it's weird. It's bizarre, and I love it. But
it's like a good version of the Umbrella Academy, right?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. And if you haven't watched it, I mean, if you really want something weird, I can see where this is not going to appeal to mainstream audiences. Like, this isn't something that large swaths of people are going to watch this and go, "What the fuck is this?" and turn it off really quick. But if you want to see something different and unique, I can't recommend Doom Patrol enough. The only thing that takes away
I might
from,
have to watch that.
I really would. It's on HBO Max or DC Universe, whichever one you have. And
I think I got one of the HBOs. They have like 500 different streaming things, I think.
well, they're getting rid of
That's what it
HBO
feels
Go,
like.
I guess, and HBO Now, and they're just consolidating HBO Max. So if you bought HBO with your cable or your satellite, you've already got it. You just have to log into it.
We'll just say that I have it.
Gotcha. So, wink, wink. But the one problem I had with it is there's a sentient street. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a sentient street that transports people from one place to another and lets them hide there. And of course,
see, good movie.
They had to leave, and then they came back to save Danny. It's all a big thing. But the lady, the transvestite person, is saying, "Yeah, the world hasn't changed that much. They're still murdering us by every day." I'm like going, God, they just say this shit, like it's just fact. I had to go looking. I went and looked to try to find how many trans people have been murdered.
You fell for it, goddammit.
I had to look. And the last person I could find, a trans person that was murdered, was, yes, it was in the last 4 or 5 months. And the woman was like 37. It was a guy. It was a trans woman. So it was a guy that became a woman.
Wait, isn't a trans woman where it's a
I don't
woman
know.
dressed
I don't
as a
know.
guy?
Look, it's a chick with a dick. All right, let's just say that. That'll make it simple.
It's Julie
Suddenly-
Andrews and Victor Victoria.
No,
Yancy
it's
has logged in wanting to know more.
it's more like a divine. It's born as a guy, wears a dress.
Eating dog shit?
So
Isn't
he's
Divine eat dog shit?
possibly. But my point is that this trans person
Gonna
who
ignore
got
that comment.
murdered went and tried to date an 18-year-old guy, a minority, by the way. This is why you don't see it in the papers. So you got a 37-year-old guy going after an 18-year-old, which if it was the other way around, God knows how much you would hear about it. It sounds like an Epstein to me. And then when he finds out that he's trans, the 18-year-old goes and shoots him. But what do
that's
they
not funny.
say? They basically say, no, it's just a bunch of MAGA hats sucking on wheat in suspenders who just go around just killing those trans people for no reason at all. That's what they all are. Don't you know that? That's I mean, it's
We
like,
went
God,
from
I'm so tired of it.
we went from 3 different Batmans with 2 different Flash and an alternate DC Lost Universe, whatever the fuck's going on, to something called Doom Patrol. To Yoda is now spending time looking up trannies being murdered, and he's talking about sucking cocks of women. What's going on?
I don't know.
The drugs
I
are flowing
don't know.
with this one.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
I'll say,
Man, he hasn't done this in weeks, and he's got
That's
me.
right.
I won't shut up, and you won't stop talking about trannies.
this is
Look,
a very
this show is
odd
going rail.
experience tonight.
Here's
Clearly, we
here's
need
my
a
point.
network to sign us.
Here's my point. I've got a really good show. I've got all these fucking
Here it
properties
comes.
out there that I really love, and these people are just wrecking them. They make me hate Star Wars. They've made me hate Star Trek, thanks to Picard. They're screwing my DC stuff up. I'm just, what do we have left? So yes, I think right now it's a golden age because there's no movies coming out.
Yeah. And if you think the nostalgia porn bullshit you've had to deal with like the past 10 years of taking something and remaking it and building a universe around it, which they tried to do with the Monsterverse, you remember that shit? Whenever studios get back to production, and you could argue that maybe they should have never stopped, I would certainly be in that camp, they're going to be so starved for a quick buck that they are going to mine whatever it is. I mean, you'd go back into the vault, find something, and fucking make it. And do it as cheap as possible, as fast as possible. Man, this would be a golden age for Roger Corman if there ever was a time. But go find some crap that maybe somebody knows, some title. It doesn't even matter what it is, and just put some cookie cutter bullshit into it and get it into a theater. You are about to see an onslaught of terrible crap being remade from the past.
Oh, I don't
Like you
disagree.
wouldn't believe. And if
They
they could
did.
make a series out of it, they're going to go for it. You might see, we were doing it on somebody had brought up the Rifleman earlier. You're going to see like the Rifleman. You're going to have a cinematic universe. You could have, I don't know, keep going. Come on, guys, pick me up here. Let's
What
go.
do you mean,
Start
like-
rattling shit off.
You mean like the Dark Universes series of interconnected movie?
You could. Could you imagine? Because
It's
you're
one-
going to have Godzilla versus King Kong, whether you wanted it or not. So you might as well have Deep Blue Sea versus Sharknado. Screw it. You could do it for $15, and I guess guarantee you people would tune in and watch it. It's going to be even lower than the low it's already been in terms of creative output from Hollywood. It's going to be a golden age of that.
Yeah,
just
but now,
because they're so desperate to make something somewhere.
yeah, but
You
now
know,
they
it's-
make all
I'll
the
say this. It's been so long since I've been to the movies, I don't even care anymore.
exactly.
And I go to I was going to the movies every week for like decades.
You realize they're going to make all the Sharknadoes trans now, right?
Oh yeah, it'd be gender fluid, non-binary.
It's just gonna have a
great
dress,
white, but identifies
pearls.
as a Mako. Oh yeah,
It'd be Mako X.
That's right.
Mako
That
X.
next.
But you're gonna have. You know what? I don't go to movies all that much, but now that we were told that you can't, my theory is fuck you. I want to go see a movie now.
Well, I
Even
know
if it's a
my,
movie I own, I think I said this the last time we did. Even if it's a movie I own, like I don't care. I want the experience again. And more importantly, I hate being fucking told what to do.
well, that's a big part of it, and I think that's why there were so many fireworks shows going on. I mean, our neighborhood was downtown Beirut, and
That the stuff in LA was particularly awe-inspiring, and I hate that fucking city.
it was great.
It was good. The ones I had down in Myrtle Beach were good too. They were like professional grade fireworks on the beach, just random.
Oh,
stuff going
nice.
off. It was awesome.
It's awesome.
My son grabbed an American flag that I have hanging outside because I live in small town America, and that's just what we do here. Grabbed the phone out of the flagpole and then went running down the street because they were doing sparklers and stuff in the middle of the road. There's a big party right over there. Went with the American flag running through the firework display and made a big circle of it and came back. And the neighbors and everyone's going, yeah, USA, USA, USA. And I said, if you do that, I will give you all the money in my wallet. He earned $7 for 3 hours worth of entertainment afterwards because all I had to do was think about it and start laughing.
That's less than a movie ticket, so I think you got your money's worth.
Oh, easily. It was better than any Star Wars film since the 80s.
And speaking of that,
Boom.
let's talk about... Thank
maybe
you for that
since 80.
segue. That's a great segue.
Shots fired.
Let's talk about the idea that apparently there is a major coup going on at Lucasfilm with Kathleen Kennedy probably getting
the retcon.
shunted off, and they want to retcon. Like they're just going to say the sequels never happened.
They're
Well,
going to do what everybody said they should have done with Alien 3, which is just fucking ignore it and then go back to doing whatever it is you were doing. The problem is if they do that in Star Wars, they're going to do The Force Awakens again, which is they're going to make A New Hope again. And it's going to be even more expensive with even more things that you know.
They're saying they want to do Lucas's version. I don't know what that is.
So they want to make. So what they're going to do supposedly is they're going to make the Lucas treatment trilogy with Lucas in charge, and that would be episodes 10, 11, and 12, but with new characters because he can't use any of the characters because they killed them all. So he's got to come up with all new characters.
I'm hearing that he's going to bring back Luke, Leia, and Han, but they're going to recast them and set it much earlier than the sequel trilogy.
Oh, I don't want to watch that at all.
Oh, that's even worse than whatever it is they're trying to do.
If you
I mean,
have,
sorry,
if you have Filoni
you
or
made that
or,
decision. You're fucking stuck with it.
I mean, they had the thing. It was written. They told the guy they wanted to make it that they liked it. They threw it in the garbage and stabbed him in the back. Hey.
Does anybody know what the hell he wrote?
What
his continuation after Return of the Jedi actually was?
So we know a few things. I know a few things. So it was going to be Luke.
You have an insider?
Well, no, there was a bunch of stuff that came out when 7 came out. After 7 came out, so it was going to be like there was going to the Emperor's the Death Star ruins were underwater on Endor. And Luke and this girl Jedi that like his apprentice were going to go in there and look for this artifact. That was one thing. Then there was another thing about them shrinking and then going into like becoming microscopic and going into
Honey,
the
I Shrunk the
microverse.
Jedi.
They were going to go into the microverse and they were going to meet the Wills, which is what creates the Force or something. I mean, that's the main stuff that everybody knows. I'm not sure if that's good or not, but I can tell you what, it's better than what we got, probably. It's at least some original ideas.
But why do we have to deal with it? Why does there have to be anything involving the Death Star at this point? Just move on. You had 2/3 of the best, of one of the best trilogies ever made involve a fucking Death Star. Move on. They said on Red Letter Media, which obviously we're all fans of, that you can't do anything in Star Wars anymore. It's the biggest universe in cinema history that you cannot do anything. You have to go back to the well time and time again, and that's all they've ever been is back to the well time and time again. We're gonna do the same thing a little bit differently. We're gonna show the same people. We're gonna have the fucking Death Star is gonna be in everything, up to and including the sequels. Now it's like, oh, give me a break. You've got millions of worlds.
The Death Star wasn't good enough. They had to come up with something that could destroy a planet from 1,000,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Oh god. They had a Death Star and they needed a bigger Death Star. Now we've got galaxy killers.
And then it splits into 5 different beams. Did either of you guys read the Zahn trilogy?
Yeah.
Reading, we know my feelings.
Okay.
Is it the same as Troll Princess?
No, but you know what I'm talking about, the Admiral Thrawn and
Yeah.
I mean,
With
to
those
me,
lizards that cancel out the Force and all that stuff.
yeah, Slamir or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought that was a great set of stories. It did not follow the originals in any particular way. It was a pretty deep and well done story. I think most of the Legends stuff after that, I think there's some good stuff and there's some bad stuff, but mostly bad stuff. I didn't really have a problem with them putting the Legends in the dumpster, but or the expanded universe, or whatever you want to call it. But the thing that kicked it off, the Thrawn trilogy, I thought was great, and I still think it's a great story. I would pay good money if they wanted to make a CGI cartoon version of it and just retell it reasonably well. And even if they could get Hamill to voice it, but if not, that's fine. Recast it. I mean, to me, that's my sequel trilogy. Any of the stuff that's came afterwards, I just don't think it's very good. And
But you're not going to use the animation style from Clone Wars, are you? Would it look like a Thunderbird? Or does it look like a... I'm sorry. The Clone Wars, I got most of the way through that. At least I think it's Clone Wars. Got most of the way through it, and I actually enjoyed the stories.
Yeah.
It's a legitimately good serialized Star Wars cartoon. It's certainly closer to the spirit than anything else.
There's some good stories in there.
But the animation, though, it's jarring.
It's bad.
I get what you're going
it gets
for,
better later.
and I'm telling you, this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
They did the last season, the final season, finally, which I really liked. Unfortunately, the problem with it is it's broken into 3 parts. You have the first 3, which are
Another
about
trilogy.
well, it's about like the first 3 or 4 episodes is about these clones called the Bad Batch and rescuing this one clone that we thought was dead that wasn't, and he was being used. It's fine. I mean, it's good storytelling, but it's nothing earth shattering. Then the next one is Ahsoka, who had gotten kicked out of the Jedi, she left the Jedi Order, and she was trying to find her way, and she ended up with these 2 women who were kind of into some crime, but they weren't bad people, and they got themselves in over their heads. And quite frankly, I didn't care. I didn't care because it really didn't forward the larger story. But then the last part of it, the last 3 or 4 episodes that really wrapped it up and took it right. In fact, I think the last 2 episodes kind of coincided at the same time with Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
Like
didn't it end with the Emperor stuff? Like the Emperor got kidnapped and all that.
Yeah, it ended right there, but it was happening. It was a different story that was happening, and it had a lot to do with Darth Maul and that sort of thing. And then
I wish they never brought Darth Maul back. Let me just say, I think that was dumb. Like, killing him was stupid.
Darth Maul.
he did
no
all right.
offense,
I liked it.
Dom's
I liked it in
hot
Clone
take.
Wars.
Darth Maul was not that interesting to begin with.
He
He
wasn't
looked awesome though.
He wasn't in Phantom Menace.
It's like Boba Fett. Boba Fett, it's that. Give me a break. He's in 5 minutes total in 2 movies or something like that. Whatever. Not interested.
He had a great death in Rebels with older Obi-Wan. It's really good.
I mean, the guy got cut in half. He fell 1,000,000 feet. He should have been
fine.
dead.
He's fine.
Yeah, they brought the Emperor back. Nothing is original anymore.
That was stupid. Here's my question about the Emperor. Why did the Emperor in Episode 9, and why did his clone body in Episode 9 look worse than his real body in Episode 6? They're going to clone your body. Shouldn't he be like a young body, like a good body?
Well, wait.
Nah,
His body's terrible.
Was that the clone, or was the one that got thrown down the shaft the clone? I'm really confused on this.
Who cares?
Yeah, there you go.
It's
That's
just-
the
I'll
answer.
be honest with you. I don't care, and I didn't see it. And I can go inside right now and watch it on Disney Plus, and I'm not going to.
It sucked.
I
Let me tell
might-
you.
You know what? There might be a point because I brought this story up before. I took my oldest son to see The second one after Force Awakens, whatever that one was called.
Last Jedi.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Fine. And we sat down there because I thought it would be important that my kids see a Star Wars film in a theater to have that experience. Wrong one to pick. And he sat, and I was bored. And then they get to the casino, and I'm like, oh God, what are we doing here? And it got to that third act, which is like the end of the Lord of the Rings movie, like which was the first one, or no, the third one, whichever one that was, where the third act is essentially just a series of endings and endings and endings and endings and endings. And you get to like, exactly, it was 45 minutes of endings. And you get to like the third or fourth movie where you're like, okay, the lights are going to come up and we can leave, right? This is enough. I want to go home. We were going to get Whataburger. Can we get to Whataburger, please? And it keeps going. And my son looks at me. He's like, is this movie going to end anytime soon? And I'm like, we've got like another 9 endings. I guarantee it. And it kept fucking going. It's like, oh, fuck that. And he didn't talk to me for like a week. And it's on Disney Plus. We were looking through one day to find something to watch. And nobody wants to watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea inside because none of them have any sense. And they're settling on this god-awful new Disney crap, which I'm not watching because I don't care. I said, if you guys keep disagreeing with me, I'm going to put on The Rise of Skywalker. Everybody went, we're going to watch The Rocketeer. And I went, you made the right decision.
So let me tell you the one thing.
Wait, Ben. I gotta mention this before you get started. I love that you use Rise of Skywalker as a possible punishment.
Listen, at some point, when you are essentially not raising, but when you're alone with 3 boys, and it's you against them, you have to accept at some point it's a siege mentality, and you are going to maintain the authority one way or the other. And if it comes down to the point where you've got to flip that little box up and you got to let these people know that I've got my finger on the button and I will nuke the fuck out of this house to deny you whatever it is you want, I will do it. Don't tempt me.
So let me say a few things about the Rise of Skywalker. So the Emperor is on this planet, and he's been alive this whole time. He's got a whole new army. He's got a whole million ships, like 1 million Star Destroyers, all this stuff. They don't go into who built this? Where did it come from? It just appears it just apparates. Okay? Lando.
It's the millennials' approach to how do I get money from my parents. It just appears.
So, Snoke was really the Emperor in a different body. He just controlled that body. But the real Emperor looks like the old Emperor, but he looks like he's like a fat old guy. And then Lando's in it for like 5 minutes. And that's like the best part of the whole thing.
I know, it's like the guy who made Lost, who gave you a bunch of unsatisfying answers or no answers at all to that show, made this movie. It's weird.
So then the other thing that
For
happens,
the record, I have no problem with that in Lost.
So the other thing that happens
you.
is they kept on shooting things and remaking stuff and putting this thing together like 1 million different times. Like there's probably 10 different versions of this movie with completely different scenes. So they kill Chewie. They blow up this ship that Chewie's on. And then they decide Chewie wasn't even on that ship. So they blow up the ship. 15 minutes later, Chewie's alive again. Okay?
I'd give them credit if they actually killed Chewie. I'd be like, that was at least ballsy. He's alive. Never mind. There are how many, not only that, he's not the only one. I mean, how many people almost...
That's not filmmaking. That's, oh fuck, I'm panicking.
That is exactly what it was. They did the same to 3PO. Remember 3PO almost died.
Copper top bitch was asking for it from A New Hope.
He almost... They erased his memory, but no, it's fine. R2's got a backup.
Let me say something about that. This is even stupider. Okay, so So C-3PO can't read the Sith language because when he was built, he has this program that forbids him. So why did little Annie add this program to C-3PO that he couldn't read the Sith language when he was 8?
Well, to be fair, he
no.
probably had some upgrades over the last 60 years, so we'll give him that one. I
Is
guess.
the island really purgatory? What's with the smoke monster?
I
How come
know.
there's a polar bear?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
Consume it, you piece of shit.
And
Get out your
And
fucking
then-
wallet.
so
I like the
so they
show. I
go-
don't give a fuck.
they go to the okay. So let me talk about the Force in this thing. So
Don't do that. Oh,
So, Luke's ghost catches his lightsaber. Rey's gonna throw his lightsaber into the fire, and he catches it. And he's like, "Here, take this back." Like instead of throwing it away, he gives it back to her. And then,
Oh, because of in the last one?
Yeah, yeah,
What was that
yeah,
one
yeah,
called
yeah.
again?
Last Jedi.
Okay, well,
So-
I'll just take your word.
You need to watch this. It's
Wait a minute.
So-
Force
I don't
ghosts can
know.
touch
Okay.
lightsabers. Could you get your asses over there and start kicking some ass for us, please?
so then.
I will propose that under
Wait,
this
hold on.
circumstances. Sorry, before you get back, because I'm going to hijack the show again, like I do every time I'm here. I will propose watching this goddamn show, movie, whatever it is. I don't care, provided we have plenty of forget juice, and we watch the show and stream it while we do it.
Oh, I'm game.
Why do
We
you
should do
think
that
I'm
for
a
the
raging
1 year anniversary.
alcoholic now?
Let's do that for the 1 year anniversary, August 15th.
That's right. By
I'm
the
dead
way,
serious.
everyone, last movie
I
Outpost.
wrote
will
it down in my
celebrate-
live journal.
We'll celebrate its 1 year anniversary on August 15th. Isn't that amazing? We've been doing this for a year now.
It's cool.
Boy.
So,
Haven't had a
Time flies
single
having fun.
meltdown.
So let me go back to the stupidity in this movie. So you've got
This will take all night.
the Death Star from 3, the Death Star from Return of the Jedi. It's 75% intact on Endor, like it just landed in one piece, and they have
Well,
a lightsaber
a big
fight
portion
on
of
there.
it, yeah.
And then Han Solo's ghost shows up, and he decides he convinces Kylo Ren to be a good guy again. And then Kylo Ren becomes a good guy and then dies like seconds later. He kisses Rey,
Oh, yeah, you
Rey
forgot about
dies.
the
He kisses
bizarre
Rey,
kiss.
and then Rey comes back to life and he dies because he put his life force into her. The whole-
Couldn't he have given, like... Couldn't she have given, like, half of it back? And then they could have knocked boots later or something? I don't know.
Force is female, man. What do you want me to tell
Oh,
you?
that's
What
right,
does this
yeah.
movie cost? $500 million? This isn't a movie. This is a botched abortion. Put
And
the
then-
kid on life support.
Who do you blame? I mean, you could go over this all night, Ben.
I
Let me
blame-
ask you, what were they trying
Bob
to
Iger.
accomplish?
Bob Iger's who I blame.
You blame Bob because I blame Kathleen Kennedy.
Hey,
Yes.
the buck stops at the top, man. He's the one that threw that treatment in the garbage. He's the one that made these hires. It's his fault.
So when Lucas
Yeah,
sold
ultimately it has
it,
to rest with.
when Lucas sold it, he did say, she has to be in charge. It was part of the deal. And then once you're in, I mean, you know how these if you've worked in any big corporation, you know that once these guys get into management, you just fail up. And I blame
Look at Michael
Kathleen
Wilson,
Kennedy.
he managed to do it.
Yeah. I do blame Iger as far as I feel like he tried to step in and say, you need to fix this shit and you need to make this not. They tried to undo Last Jedi. I mean, that's what that movie tried to do. But you can't. It's like pulling pee out of a swimming pool. You can't do it. It's in there. It's done. It's fucked. You can't unfuck it now.
You should have just moved on.
Yeah, I mean, at least it would have been more ballsy to say, let's just take this to the next step and let's see how badly Ryan Johnson or whoever wants to take this. or Kathleen Kennedy. Let's just see how bad it is. But instead, they made this mealy mouth piece of shit that really did nothing. It's like you said. Did
They
Chewie
should have
die?
gone
No, he
full
didn't.
schlock.
They should have, or should have gone
full schlock.
full. You know, full. If you want to take it and do your stupid political bullshit in it, then take it all the way. But this movie is just it's nothing.
Oh, I'm
it's
absolutely
nothing.
with you. If you're going to do it, go fucking for it.
Yeah.
Don't pussy
here's the
foot
thing.
around. Really go for it.
Here's the thing that's stupid about this whole thing. They decided to make it up as they went along. They didn't come up with a story for the whole thing. They said we're going to make it up the way that they did from 77 to 83. And that worked. This didn't work.
They failed to recognize that when you make it up, it takes from 1977 to 1983 to do.
Well,
It doesn't take from 2017 to 2018 or whatever the hell it was. So, dude, you can't make it up as you go in less than a year. There's too much on the line too quickly, too soon.
So let me go back to what they kept on changing too. So there's this black chick that's in this thing, like this young girl, right? So they were going to have it, and this isn't in the movie.
Stormtrooper.
First, they were going to have Lando be, what's the black guy's name?
Lando.
Finn. Lando was going to be Finn's son. I mean, Finn was going to be Lando's son.
Finn's son? Oh my!
No. Finn was going to be Lando's son.
Had.
Then they changed it that Lando was going to be the father of this girl, okay, this new girl. And then they decided, and then what's in the movie is Lando's nobody's father. And they're just these characters that serve no purpose.
But
like they're just sort of in the movie.
But he was creepy and was going to, hit on the chick anyway, from what I could tell.
He's like, let's go have some adventures. That's what he told them at the end. Let's go have some adventures.
With my
How many hours is this goddamn movie?
It's like 3.
They crammed all that into 3?
Yes.
Oh, this is a narrative assault, like a Michael Bay film is a visual assault or a sort of auditory assault on your senses. Because every Michael Bay is the loudest film you've ever seen. That's what Star Wars is. It's an assault on the senses. It's an assault on the narrative, which I didn't even think you could do. But it turns out you can cram a fuckload of words into a page and say, we're going to do it. Oh my God.
The best thing is, so when Rey kills the Emperor, the Emperor shoots lightning at Rey. Rey holds up her lightsaber, and the lightning deflects back and kills the Emperor. I'm not making this up.
No. You're not quite right there. Remember, with the one lightsaber, she couldn't do it. But once she got 2 lightsabers, then she could do it. Because now, I guess this is kind of canon because it happened in Revenge of the Sith. But apparently the Emperor doesn't know to stop throwing lightning if it's coming back into your face.
And then Luke's ghost when Rey's killing the Emperor says, Rey, you've succeeded where I failed.
Which is code for Kathleen Kennedy saying, fuck you and your old trilogy. Fuck you, males. Men, we hate you.
Ooh. How much did you guys pay to actually see this?
Nothing. I watched it at my sister's house on a bootleg. Streamed it.
Allegedly.
I've got AMC stubs, so even if I was lying, I would have paid nothing for it.
There you go. That's a nice back pedal. So I
didn't see it in the theater. I watched it.
So again, I ask you, what do you think they were trying to accomplish? Because I think they were trying to accomplish undoing what The Last Jedi did, and they ended up making a pile of nothing that pleased no one.
Yeah, I have a good friend of mine that actually was a fan of The Last Jedi, and he hated that movie because it undid. He's like, I liked that The Last Jedi tried to do new things, and it took risk. I don't agree with him, but that was his take. He's like, it undid the movie.
Okay.
I don't disagree with him. I
It's
just
hard
don't
to
like
argue
it.
with.
Yeah.
I mean, it did take risks. It just did it in a terrible way.
Yeah.
Hey, risk is still risk.
Yeah, I mean, the Last Jedi has a narrative, and it is a story, and it goes through its story, and you understand what's going on. And I don't like the narrative choices. I don't like what they did to Luke. And there's a couple of moments where you go, what? Why would this character do this? And then completely undermine what they did. Like Rose, stopping Finn from, we got to save what we love as the door is cracking open in the background. It's just the dumbest fucking moment. But that's just like one moment. But the rest of the movie, it has a structure. It has a story. I just don't like it. I just think it's undermining the characters and all that kind of stuff. But the Rise of Skywalker is just nonsense. It's just complete nonsense.
Oh, so I didn't tell you
That
the
makes
last
me want to watch it. You say that.
the last scene. Rey goes to Tatooine, to the Lars homestead, buries Luke's lightsaber, and somebody
Leia's.
goes, "Hey, what's your name?" And she goes, "My name is Rey Skywalker." Credits. So then the Jedi are now
Tom's
called
done.
Skywalker.
He's out. He's out. He's done. He's gone. Should I read comments at this point?
Are there? Yeah, go read some. Sure.
Yeah, we'll let these poor bastards who I've been ignoring this whole time.
Go ahead. I don't know if he's coming back.
They only made.
I don't want to talk about Star Wars. You guys are depressing. I have it in my contract. You can call my lawyer. So anyway,
All right.
let's talk about Star Wars.
No, Dom. I'm afraid this is the time when we read the comments.
I'm gonna get roasted.
Yeah, it seems that you're not popular. I don't know why. So Ray Gunn says,
Hold on, let me fix my hair.
he's fixing his hair. We want to make sure that he hears all this in its glory.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Okay, well I want to make sure that he hears all this. Okay, so Ray Gunn Givens
Oh,
says, "Nice."
Ray can eat my ass.
Yeah, he says, "Nice camera, Dom." Not. To be fair, I'm not sure if this is Dom's problem or my problem, but he does get some weird stripy lines in my Skype. But occasionally you do too, Ben, but it's not too often, so I don't know if it's... I'm going to guess that it's his internet more than anything.
It's definitely not my problem.
That's what
Moving
Captain
on.
Kennedy does every day.
Well, it can't... if it's not
I
yours...
like that one.
If it's not your problem, then it's my problem because I'm the host, and that can't be right. I'm the host.
I don't think it's your problem at all. Hard
Gotta-
treats.
Gotta have my pop says Sweeney Todd and Corpse Bride were good.
Corpse Bride was good. I will give you Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
Corpse Bride was all right. I did like Corpse Bride. I'll give you that one. Sweeney Todd, I don't know if that's really a problem with Tim Burton or a problem with the material because I'm not that big a fan of it. M. Night Shabbat movies are better when you're not anticipating the twist. His mistake was making that his shtick from Tau Pilot. I don't think he's too wrong on that. I think he did.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think that nails it about as well as anything can.
Yeah.
Because then people just want to know what's going on. What is it? And that's when for me that's with The Village. That's where it's like nope. I think there's something else going on, and I was right.
Yep.
And the movie sucks.
Lucille the Bat says this is an alcohol-related incident. I think she's talking about the entire stream. And she would not be wrong. Yo, it's like my comic books have come to life, says Joel Swenson. I'm not sure which one he's talking about, but good for him. Tau Pilot
Must be the
says.
Doom Patrol.
Tau Pilot says the X-Wing novels were good. I wouldn't mind seeing an animated series based on those. I read a few of those X-Wing books, but I didn't go. But I've heard good things about them. Those and the Timothy Zahn ones. The rest of the expanded universe, I think, is mostly shit.
Was Solo any good?
You
The
know,
movie?
I actually kind of like Solo. It's not.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's not great. It has problems, but at least it wasn't. The Jedi and the Force and Destiny.
I think it's the best. I think it's the best Star Wars movie since 1980, and I'll say why. It's got a story that makes sense and it's fun. That's all I want out of a Star Wars
Is
movie.
it's a Western and a heist film or what? Because I think Star Wars is kind of fun
kind
when
of
it has
a
that sort of
heist.
Western element to it.
Heist film, maybe a little bit of a gangster kind of
Yeah.
thing going on. My biggest
It's
problem with
just fun. There's a lot of good stuff in it.
problem with the film is that they're doing a train heist in a universe that really should not have trains.
My biggest problem was the guy they cast as Han Solo.
Who is that, by the way? What's his name? Skarsgård?
I don't know. He went
Close
to.
enough.
He got the role
Helgeland
because
Bite? The British will
got-
get that one.
he got the role
It's the only
because
time
he
they
went
beat the
to.
German Navy.
He was like Steven Spielberg's rabbinical school or something.
He
That's
was
really
in.
what it was.
He was in a movie called
Coen
Hail
Brothers.
Caesar with Coen Brothers. He was
Yeah.
really good in it.
Is that movie? It's on Netflix, and I want to watch it because I like films about old Hollywood, except for that God Hollywoodland or whatever it is on Netflix.
We didn't even
Boring
last an
business
episode of
crap,
that.
you know what? I made it like part of 2, and I'm like, okay. Dylan McDermott, I think it is. He's actually okay. He's good. The performances are
Like a-
alright, but then
Isn't
it's
it, it's just like about some
revisionist.
male prostitute or something. No
Yeah,
interest.
look at it. It's based. There was a gas station in Hollywood that was essentially a whorehouse, sold out prostitutes. That was a real place.
Only one.
But well, probably I don't know. It's Hollywood, whatever. But it wasn't interesting beyond that. And how do you screw up How does Hollywood screw up a story about vintage golden age Hollywood? Like they typically do that. They can shove their heads up their asses so fucking far they turn, as Ferris Bueller said, they could turn a piece of coal into a diamond. And they've done it like time and time again. They're really good at telling stories about themselves. But they just go look at this. You go, what? It's like 2 episodes. I'm gone. Bye.
Well,
This is
you know,
awful.
I got a reason. Judd Apatow was involved, I think,
Say it no more.
That would do it.
because his daughter was a character in that thing, and I think that
Case
asshole's the only
dismissed.
person to hire those kids.
So I really
Well,
liked
Kevin
Hail
Smith,
Caesar.
but this kid's nuts.
I liked Hail Caesar. A lot of people didn't. Well,
It
a
was
lot of
okay.
critics didn't, and I thought it was better than the critics said it was. Maybe because I went in for low expectations. Certainly isn't one of the Coen
pretty
brothers' best, but it's decent.
No Country for Old Men is their best.
No, I don't like that one at all.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You want to know why?
Yoda, you gotta.
Is that-
Yoda, can you get rid of him? Come on.
That ending was terrible. Tommy Lee babbling. Tommy Lee's incoherent babbling at the end.
Are
there.
you fucking kidding me?
No,
I can't even explain why it's so good. It's so good.
it wasn't even the best movie of 2007.
No, it's oversimplified way of looking at it, but it's a fish out of water. Tommy Lee Jones is an old school guy, and Javier Bardem is essentially like I'm not gonna say the future, but it's a new time. It's a clash of cultures, and it tied into the beginning. Oh my god,
I didn't.
I'm not
I didn't
happy
get
right
it.
now. I'm just not happy.
I liked.
I loved
There
it.
Will Be
I
Blood
absolutely
was
loved it. You know what?
better.
The movie, honest to God, it didn't necessarily confuse me the first couple of times I watched it, but I was more like, okay, what is it we're doing? Laugh at me, you bitch.
I can't help it.
Dirty little. Anyway, it was.
Yeah, just so
It was-
ridiculous.
Oh no, I sound like I'm from Miami, and I'm a Cuban woman. But it's I honest to God thought it was a brilliantly done film. It was a brilliantly executed film. It was a brilliantly written film, acted
What movie?
film. Looks, whichever one we're talking about.
No Country,
No
for
Country
Old Men.
for Old Men.
Okay. I thought
I
you
mean-
were talking about a different movie. I didn't
Like,
understand.
Woody Harrelson was really good. It's a brilliant film.
I think it is a brilliant film. I'm not sure if it's
Can
the
you
best
scare you away
Coen.
anymore?
I don't know. Fargo's way up there, but I gotta say my favorite Coen Brothers film, whether or not it's the best or not, it's still my favorite, is Big Lebowski.
I agree 100%.
I could just rewatch that so much.
That and
It's
Raising
instantly
Arizona.
watchable. I really like the film. I don't know if it's their best, but it's iconic. It reaches a plateau where it doesn't matter.
It does.
It's an important.
It's so good.
You know, I've brought it up like every time we've done one of these things. I've talked about the essentials. It's one of those essential films you just have to see.
Yeah.
You have to experience it.
Okay. Joel says, great stories, good lightsaber battles. Do not understand the animation choice, but it did start to get realistic. I think he's talking about the Clone Wars. And I agree, the animation got better as time went on. And I think that's just because of the technology.
Do they sort of ditch that kind of is it really Thunderbirds where it looks like that? But it's the characters are more. I hate to say
they just
wood,
refine
but
it.
it's like striking lines. It's
a little blocky.
It's a definite animated version of an old Saturday morning cartoon.
You
Not a
realize it
cartoon.
originally came out in 2008, which is hard to believe, but I mean that's how far back it goes now. And then it's had 7 seasons, maybe 8. I forget what it is.
I
but
think 8.
8 seasons, and the last 2 were like they did one season on Netflix, and then they just did the last one on Disney Plus just recently. So over the last, I would say the first 3 seasons had that blockiness to it, and then it got better as they were able to refine the animation, and then it continued as through the last, like this last season was just gorgeous, I think. So you know, it's good.
Should have done it as stop motion animation. That would have been really cool because nobody does that anymore.
Like Darth Maul coming back, but like HTR says, they should have never killed him in the first place. Excellent death.
Yeah, I don't think we should have killed him either.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all they did was just replace him with Grievous. I'm like, that should have been Darth Maul.
Well, the other what do you guys think of the theory
okay.
that Jar Jar was really going to be Darth Sidious?
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, because I figured that Darth Sidious, that Jar Jar would have just been faking that voice, and his real voice would have been like the Palpatine kind of voice, and then he would have taken over Palpatine's body, like done like an energy transfer.
Ugh.
Oh, I guarantee you people would have loved that, especially for their hatred of Jar Jar Binks. Their justifiable hatred of Jar Jar Binks, yes. Should have done that. Look at that. You fucked it up, George Lucas.
Yep. The Lucille the Bat says the rise of Skywatcher. That's what she spelled it. The rise of Skywatcher has been banned by the Geneva Convention as cruel and inhuman punishment. Oh no, I think the rise of Skywalker is kind of funny in a lot of ways because you know what they were trying to do, and you're just watching just failure just unfold before you, and you can laugh at it. The Last Jedi,
It's
I feel like is cruel and
failure
unusual.
from the sounds of it.
Yeah,
It's taking a failure and then just doubling and tripling down because it's like that, you know, we always used to say you would just dig all the way to China.
yep,
That's what that is.
that's what
That's
it
a
is.
visual representation of digging through the Earth's core
No,
because it's better than just turning around.
I feel like what's his name oh god what's the police chief in Wiggum, police chief Wiggum in The Simpsons when they were all digging down and they're like, we'll dig our way out of this hole.
Dig up,
Dig up, stupid.
Was that the Apocalypse episode when
No, it was
they
the
said
one where they
Springfield
did
was
the
gonna die? What was that one?
no, it was the one where the the old guy was stealing everything from them, and then they ended up doing the what? Well, it's a wide. It's a what is it? What's that movie? It's a
Mad
world. Yes, I had W on my brain because of the W of the palm trees. It's like we got to find a palm trees that look like a big T.
Okay.
One palm tree. With two coming out.
That's right. The one I'm thinking of then is the one that has Stephen Jay Gould in it, and that's the one with the apocalypse.
That's the apocalypse.
There's only
That's the
10,000
movie
episodes of that show.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how anybody
And
can keep
like-
it straight.
and like 100 of them are good.
I've probably seen 5 episodes of that series in my life.
The
There's like 5 episodes you need to see.
first 7 seasons.
Actually, you know what? It was really good. The
First
Simpsons
7
were
seasons
great
are great.
until like
The Conan season.
1999. Yeah.
Yeah, first 7-8 seasons are great. After that, you can probably skip it.
When Fox
I'll
had
just skip it
Sunday
all
night
and
was
save
like
myself
their
the
version
time.
of must see TV. It was The Simpsons, and then like King of the Hill or whatever it was. And then Sunday nights it was the X Files, and that's when the X Files really hit its stride. Was when it moved from Friday to I don't know if I'm right about that, but it moved from Friday to Sunday night, and it just hit this new level of quality. Fox controlled Sunday night. That's when The Simpsons were really good. Actually, that's when they were brilliant.
Yeah, Family Guy.
And still the
20
best
years,
Simpsons
too.
episode. The best Simpsons episode was the Prohibition episode.
That one is great. I'm still a monorail guy though.
Oh, the monorail. They put Ogdenburg and whatever on. Put them on the map. And
Put
he's
them on the map.
written their cities' names. Monorail. Monorail. Monorail.
I love it when she goes and finds the guy that could help her blow the whole thing wide open. But we need to get back before that monorail starts or people are going to die. And they get back and she's like, we're too late. He goes, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stopped for that haircut.
You remember when they started making that movie in Springfield with what the hell was his name? The Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of character.
Yeah.
And he was
McBain.
oh my god! And they were filming in Springfield or whatever the hell it was.
They
And
were
like,
going to do the
Millhouse
atomic,
was one of the characters or something.
atomic
Oh
or
my god!
radioactive man. Radioactive man.
Radioactive.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God,
we're
that
going
was
to,
so good.
so McBain, we're gonna set you up here. We're gonna throw this acid through. And it's like, oh, this is gonna be real acid. He's like all tied up. He goes, wait, real acid? I said, yeah, you have goggles. You'll be fine. And he gets zipped away from the guy in the acid. His costume is burning off. He's like, the goggles, they do nothing.
Remember teaching him the lines? He's like, up and at them. And they're like, no, it's up and at them. Up and at them. No,
No.
it's up and at them.
Okay,
No,
it's gonna
Ben.
take a while. All right, back to the
Before we move on, I got one last one because
All
The Simpsons had the most 90s moment of the 90s. And that was when you remember that weird story angle they did of who shot Mr. Burns?
Oh yeah,
And Mr. Burns laid his hands down on the thing and it pointed to Maggie Simpson.
yeah.
And because his gun dropped in the car trying to reach for a lollipop. And the cops and everybody shows up at the Simpson house. And they're arresting it. And like Chief Wickham's like, we've got Simpson DNA on the murder weapon. And Bart or whoever it was is like, Simpson DNA. That'll never hold up in court. Most 90s moment ever.
I can tell you that I never laughed harder at a gag than when they did the Mary Poppins episode.
Oh. Yeah.
And her name was Sherry Bobbins because we don't want to get sued.
Sherry Bobbins.
And at the they did this whole musical and they kind of aped the Mary Poppins, and then she took her umbrella and she left, and she's floating off into the air, and then they show like the camera is facing up at her, and and Homer and Lisa turn like they're facing towards the camera, and Lisa says, "Do you think we'll ever see her again, Dad?" And Homer says, "I'm sure we will." And a plane goes by and sucks her in the engine and just blows dust out the back. I'm sure we will. I lost it. I was on the floor. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. The idea of sucking Mary Poppins into a jet engine just floored me. I miss those Simpsons because now they're worried about doing a poo now. But back then they had no
that was
fear.
back with Conan O'Brien working on.
Oh
the show,
yeah,
I
that's
think.
when it was good. When Conan was working on it, it was great. And after that, I think it was never the same.
Oh man,
Oh yeah, Mary
So
Poppins
many good
and
moments.
We
shit.
have
I
any
just
other
had one
topics?
in my
Are there
head.
any more topics to discuss
Ben sitting here going, "I have no input on this
don't care.
conversation."
about The Simpsons?
Okay.
You remember
let's
when
see.
X-Files showed up? Okay.
Shut up. Darth Maul coming back. Okay, yeah, excellent, Dad. The Rise of Skywalker said that. Joel says he had to quit. He's Darth Mary Sue. Oh, God. He defends Lost, generally. Almost killing Chewie could be considered abuse. It's beyond trolling.
They killed him and then they took it back like 5 minutes later.
That is abuse.
You're watching like somebody edit a film in real time.
Yeah, the guy was back there in the control booth going, "Hurry up, hurry up!"
Oh fuck! No, that's not what we want. That's not what
You
we
killed
want.
Chewie! Fuck, I did! Oh, crap. Go pull this in, pull this in.
There's your mystery box, you stupid bitch. It's the alternate editing of the film.
They had to acquire a chip of some kind. He assembled C-3PO and didn't program him, sort of like the Argonaut.
Oh. It's explaining why Anakin put that Sith programming that forbid him
I
from reading the
guess.
Sith
I
language.
guess. Not one single meltdown, quote.
Really?
I don't remember when one of us said that, but that was... No, she kisses him. Ray kissed...
Are we really arguing
cares?
that?
I'm going to say, Joel, who gives a shit? Guys, did anyone get laid across 3 movies? I guess Leia and Han got laid or laid each other off screen because they did have a son, and Padme was pregnant,
Allegedly.
and then started dressing like a fucking Amish woman. So I don't know. Yes, KK Knives
Half
Out.
of Western Pennsylvania got that one.
Yes, Knives Out was an impossible redemption for Rian Johnson. As cheesy as it is with that one device, it's a damn good movie. I have to say, I mean, Rian Johnson. It's hard for me to say this because he wrecked Star Wars so badly, but I liked Knives Out. I liked Looper. I think he knows how to make a movie. I think he was just a terrible choice for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they go full schlock? Yes.
Should have given it to Sam Raimi. Back when he was making Evil Dead, but not afterwards.
Joel is all over the place here. So then they bailed. It's impossible to watch. However, it's literally so bad that the originals are good again. Good point, Lightning. He was trying to do...
The Emperor getting killed by the lightning.
Yes. He was trying to do the True Lies kiss and failed. Awkward kiss. Oh, it's just me now. Yeah, Joel, you're the only one talking here, but we're reading you online. She is correct. I'm not sure. Yes, it's a mix of 12 and 18-year-old scotch tonight. I love you all's conversation on its quality. It's because you're drunk. Han Solo, good movie, bad casting. Yo, Hail Caesar ain't too shabby. The Big Lebowski, or Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I do like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It was one of those that I tried
That
to
kind
watch.
of gets forgotten.
Yeah, I watched it the first time, and I don't know, maybe I was in a bad mood or something. I turned it off. was like, this thing sucks. And then everybody was talking about it again, so I gave it another try, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? This thing is awesome. So I don't know what was wrong with me that night, but I do like that.
That one about that the sensible man. What was that thing called? The honest man, the sensible man. What was that called?
Where in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
No. The Coen Brothers movie.
Oh, I don't know.
It's about that Jewish guy in the '60s.
Oh, is that Barton Fink?
No, it's called Something Man.
I'd have to look it up. I don't know. You're gonna
Like
make
an
me look this
ordinary
shit
man
up,
or something
aren't
like that. It's good.
you? Okay, I do love.
Who's in it? Do you remember?
It's the guy that played. It was a guy that was in Boardwalk Empire. He played the guy that Arnold Rothstein.
Oh shit.
He's not a name guy, but you'd know him if you saw him.
You're the movie guy. Can you take care of this, please?
I'm getting.
I'm gonna talk a lot.
A Serious
I'm gonna
Man?
sell everybody on the.
Is it called A Serious Man?
Yeah, black comedy drama stars Michael Stuhlbarg as a Minnesota Jewish man whose life crumbles both personally and professionally. Yeah, okay.
The movie's good.
So, I love the Hudsucker Proxy. Not a lot of people
That's
like
a
that
good
one.
movie.
I love it. I love it how they really leaned into the whole 40s patter when they were talking, and every time they get to every time Paul Newman talks, like sure kid, sure. Yeah. Fargo, amazing.
There's like a series of films with Hudsucker Proxy, Matinee, Barton Fink,
They didn't do
and
that.
Quiz Show. I really didn't. I'm just saying out those 4 films where they're like, you could watch them all back to back and basically get a complete sense of that time. That's all. Moving on.
You know, I thought Quiz Show sucked. I saw it in college. I didn't
What?
like it.
It's Robert Redford, isn't it?
I think it's I can see why people don't like it, but I absolutely love it.
I
was
thought
a
it was
big-
like half a movie. Like it just kind of ended. Like I didn't feel like it had a second half.
It's a 2-hour version of almost the first act it's like a 1-act play.
Yeah.
So
Which I
Maybe I'd
I'm
like
okay
it more
with it.
now, but when it came out, I wasn't a big fan.
No, I can see that. I feel that way. The Radio Days with Woody Allen kind of does that for me. And for whatever reason, I always link the two. And I couldn't even tell you why. Because they're complete opposites. But I always like Radio Day, whatever. Then you
Cohen's
watch
had a
it
lot
again.
fewer
Okay,
movies
it's
than
good.
I thought.
Let me
you
say
definitely have
something
to
about
watch
Woody Allen. If you haven't read that book, read it. It's fantastic.
Oh, I got to imagine it's a free-for-all.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, for hundreds of pages, he doesn't talk bad about. If he says something negative about somebody, he always follows it up with something positive. He says, "Oh, you know, I didn't like Peter Sellers personally. I didn't hang out with him, but he was a great comedian," and it's stuff like that. He says something negative. He says 2 things good about the person. Then he gets to Mia Farrow and Ronan Farrow, and it's 50 straight pages of how he hates these people's guts.
Ronan Farrow is not his son, by the way. There's no way. I don't buy that for a minute. He looks like somebody else. He looks exactly like somebody else.
But by the way, Tau Pilot says we need to do a live stream just discussing old school Simpsons. And Joel agrees.
I could do that. Bone up on some of the old Simpsons.
Yeah,
they were
it's been
brilliant.
a
We'll get
while.
into the Critic too, because the Critic was brilliant.
It stinks. Thank you very much.
Golf
So
club.
I'm looking at these Coen Brothers movies. There's a lot fewer than I thought there were. Blood Simple, which I've never seen. Raising
Great.
Arizona. What's that?
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah. Raising Arizona, which is still a classic. Miller's Crossing is one that I've never gotten around to.
Great movie. Gabriel Burns is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard it's great. Just never got around to it. Barton Fink, another one I never got around to. Hudsucker Proxy, I love. Fargo, I love. Big Lebowski is still my favorite. Old Brother, Where Art Thou? The Man Who Wasn't There.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson and giving a BJ to Billy Bob.
Why haven't I seen this? Intolerable Cruelty.
Oh.
What was that? I don't remember that movie at all.
Yeah, that's one I really didn't like, and it's with George Clooney and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I don't know if I ever saw
not
it.
Bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I don't think it was very good.
Very 90s.
Yeah.
90s.
The Lady Killers, that was the one with Tom Hanks. That's another
That's
one.
a funny movie.
Did you like it? I didn't work for me.
I thought it was okay.
No Country for Old Men. Talked about that.
Brilliant.
I didn't like the very end, but other than that, it was solid.
Burn After Reading. I love that movie.
Never saw it.
It was.
Never made it all the way through.
Oh, I think it's great. I love.
I thought it was Coen Brothers trying to do Coen Brothers things instead of just trying to make a movie.
Oh man, when that dude got shot, when Brad Pitt got shot in the closet,
It's
fantastic.
It's too self-aware.
Serious Man, True Grit, I think is fantastic.
It was a good movie. That girl stole the movie.
Oh, she did, but the whole thing, I mean, they took it, and I mean, Bridges did great. The problem with True Grit is that Jeff Bridges never stopped being Rooster Cogburn after that. Every fucking movie he was in, he was playing Rooster Cogburn.
I think
he wanted
played
that
him in
Oscar.
Iron Man.
What's that?
He played him in Iron Man,
It was actually after Iron Man he did True Grit.
but he
when
still played him in Iron Man.
where he really played him was that
It's called
stupid.
retconning, goddammit, don't you know?
What's that stupid movie they did that he did with Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds,
R.I.P. Inc.
R.I.P.D.
Men in Black movie, right?
Men in Black with
It was
ghosts.
supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking he just
eat a sack of dicks.
yeah, terrible. Inside Llewellyn Davis, one I keep meaning to see and I just haven't gotten around to it. Hail Caesar I really liked. And the last one they have, and I don't know if you guys watched it, but I really did enjoy it, was The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I thought
Never
that
started
opening
it.
was the best thing in the movie. That singing cowboy stuff.
Yeah, that was great. And he immediately gets killed.
Oh, was that supposed to be like Will Rogers or Gene Autry singing cowboy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they had it was an anthology, so there was like 4 or 5 different stories in it.
I'll watch that as long as it doesn't have Adam Sandler in it.
It does not, thank God.
Are we close to wrapping this up, guys?
I think so. We've gone an hour and 49
Exact bedtime,
minutes.
Yoda. Can we go now, please, man? We got homework.
You'll go when I tell you can go. All right.
You know what we should? You know what would be a good topic? What we
You
just
can
did
go.
with the Coen Brothers. Wes
Star
Anderson.
Trek.
Wes Anderson would be good. There's a ton of his stuff I like, and there's a few of them I really dislike. So
Oh, real quick. So, did you like Steve Zissou or not?
not as
I
much
didn't
as
care
I
for it
wanted
at
to.
all.
Yeah, I wanted to like it, and I was kind of disappointed. On the other hand, I loved Moon. Oh God damn it, Moonlight. No,
Is that the one with the camp, the summer
yeah,
camp?
Express?
the summer camp. Yeah,
Yeah, that one was awesome.
that one was great, and of course I love the hotel one, the Grand Budapest Hotel,
Yeah.
and I like
The
his
best
stop
one to
motion
me is
stuff.
Royal Tenenbaums.
I didn't like that when I first saw it, and then I revisited after I kind of understood what
loved it when I
was,
first saw
what
it.
Understand was, and then I really loved
Gene
it.
Hackman, he died saving people from a sinking battleship. That's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Was that his last role?
No, his
Besides the
last
Lowe's
role was
commercial
that.
voiceovers?
No, his last role was that
I think
terrible
so.
movie with Ray Romano called Welcome to Mooseport.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like forced me into retirement too.
Yeah.
Sean Connery's last movie was LXG, wasn't it?
I thought it was the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, that's it, Alex
Oh, you
G.
said I thought you said Alex G.
Yeah.
Who the hell is
Oh,
Alex
you don't
G?
remember the Alex G cell phone commercials?
You know,
Very popular in
you can
Romania.
only do the abbreviations in chats and in Discuss and in talkbacks. You can't do it when we're all half drunk and you slur your words, or I hear them slurred. I'm actually hearing you
You're-
slurred. I'm so drunk.
drunk. And you're on drugs. The rest of us are hoping to go get drunk.
But I feel so good.
Jesus Christ.
All
He's gonna
right.
show us his tits if we don't get off this at some point.
Yeah, it could get bad. So, those of you who were on and watching and put up with us, the 4 concurrent viewers that we have that gave us 2 likes, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Of course, this will be available on lastmovieoutpost.com. You can reach us, contact
Find
us
it up
at,
here.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not doing that.
Find
now.
it over here.
Dom,
How
I'm
does
trying to
depth
do-
perception work?
Look,
on YouTube?
Ben, I want you to know that this is going on longer because Dom won't shut the fuck up. It's all his
All right.
fault. Okay.
That's a wrap.
You can reach us, contact us at lastmovieoutpost.com. If you want to email us, of course, at Twitter, we are at Movie Outpost, or if you want to reach me directly, at Drunken Yoda1. And we are on Facebook, Last Movie Outpost / Last Movie Outpost. So, guys, you got any last words?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's my last word.
All right, and Dom is pouting because I told him to shut the fuck up. All right, we will let you guys go. Thank you very much for joining us on this almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 52 minutes. Well done, guys. We managed to fill up that much time. So we'll see you for the next Outpost Frequencies, and of course, you can listen to us on any of your podcast. If you have a podcasting, it will be up there. So thank you very much, and we will see you all later.